Welcome everyone to the showdown between Bretonnia, who shall be led by Repanse, and her sidekick Sir GREGOR, the mountain that rides, aka Henri le Massif. And today, guys, we're going to be facing off against Clan Eshin, who shall be led by the dreaded Warlock Master, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be riding dirty on his Doom Wheel. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the build. So the front line's going to be Battle Pilgrims, and I really think these guys have a great niche against Skaven. They can pretty much defeat all the mainline Skaven troops, with the exception of Storm Vermin, which you really don't see terribly often. And on top of that, they're also shielded, so if you're playing against Clan Eshin stuff, or Rattling Gunners, or any sort of missile play from the Skaven, you also get that benefit of having a shield, which is quite cool, and great leadership, which is a pretty rare attribute by Bretonnian standards. So here we have a bunch of Peasant Bowmen here in the back line, very good against Skaven in general, good against Hellpits, Rat Ogres, pretty good against weapons teams with their 160 range, certainly not bad. So in total we have 4 of those, and for our leadership we do have Repanse here. She's going to be coming in with her big old greatsword looking to hunt down some rats. And for her ability, she does have the Sword of Lioness, and it looks like the Halo of Maidenly Wrath, which is really good. This is like kind of like a Walmart version of the Sword of Corone, in that it has a big, nice like AoE debuff, but the radius is a little bit smaller. So basically, lowers melee attack, accuracy, and melee defense. But melee attack and melee defense, when you have her riding with like some questing knights or knights of the realm, is really, really good when you fight enemy troops, or cav, whatever. Fleur-de-Lis Banner, going to give melee attack and melee defense. Certainly not a bad character. She's relatively cheap for the for what you're getting here, and I think she could be something we see in the metagame. Again, her own unique faction is really good because it can bring the mountain that rides a hippogriff. Sir GREGOR Clegane, no, it's going to be Henri le Massif here. And he does advance at large armor piercing, but it's really nice because you don't have to have Lewin or Alberic to get this big terror-causing beast. It opens up other lord options, right? And actually with this unique sub-faction, for some reason, you can bring the Fey Enchantress. So you can get the Fey Enchantress with huge healing on Henri here, and it's really, really good. So he does, of course, cause fear and terror, and does have the Guardian ability, which is very helpful for Repanse. As far as our Cav Corps goes, we have a couple Knights Errant and some Knights of the Realm lurking in the back as well. I think we have 2 Knights Errant and Knights of the Realm here in the center pocket just to help with some large threats. And we do also have some Mounted Yeoman Archers. So I feel like these guys might be okay for harassing and just chasing weapons teams, kind of a dual purpose unit, shooting lightly armored Skaven targets, and also being something that can pressure the back line. That's pretty much it for my force. And then we got some spears in the back, and that is it. So for the forces of the Foul Skaven, it's going to be a Warlock Master on a Doom Wheel here, and he does have the Flensing Ruin, which I believe is a new spell. Let's go and take a look here. So yes, this is the new spell in Lore of Ruin, which essentially is replacing Skitter Leap. It's kind of like a weird, not Buna effect, but like a weird Spirit Leech type effect. We'll hopefully get a chance to see it this game. On top of that, we got some Eshin Triads, some Gutter Runners with Poison here, and around the rest of the map, it's going to be Clan Rats with Spears and Eshin Sorcerer with Skitter Leap as well. Skaven Slaves, Rattling Gunners, and it looks like he does also have the new Poison Wind Mortars team. So going to be dropping some hot poison here on my poor Battle Pilgrims, but you know what? They'll endure hopefully for the lady. Skaven Slaves, Rat Ogres across the board, and it looks like there is going to be the dreaded Warp Lightning Cannon in the back. So certainly a lot of firepower for sure. I'm going to have to close the distance quick, and hopefully the Battle Pilgrims will be able to outlast the firepower and get into that back line. So coming in here, the Doom Wheel is going to be drifting into my forces. I do, of course, have some Knights of the Realm nearby to kind of intercept here, but Knights of the Realm won't kill a Doom Wheel super quick. It has 100 armor, and their AP values aren't the best, but nonetheless, I didn't want to give up some Battle Pilgrims for free, so we will be charging through the trees a little bit, but it's a bit of a bait and switch, right? Because he does have the Guando Rats here, the Eshin Triads with their anti-large, and a ton of firepower as well. But Henry's going to be coming in, trying to intercept here, going after the Warlock Master, and yeah, forgive me, guys, I'm just going to call him Henry. The pronunciation stuff, I'm not the best with it, so he's going to be going in there, and he does get punted by his own Knights of the Realm a little bit, so we basically have to fall back here, but we do charge in with some Knights Errant, trying to get some freebies here on the Eshin Triads. But as soon as I saw the Warp Lightning Cannon switching, I was like, oh boy, I better be careful. Now the Mortars here, really good pick here by Aerocrastic, because they're going to be quite solid against my Archers as well. The Archers typically very good against Skaven, and having something that can outrange the Archers and just kind of put perpetual pressure on them is quite solid. So over here we do have some Knights coming up as well, Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis looking to get into the back line, and the Mounted Yeoman Archers basically just waiting to strike. But Henry's been having a little bit of trouble keeping up here with the Warlock Master. It has been able to juke him, 72 speed against my 100, so I should be able to catch him, and there you go, big hits coming in. Repanse trying to get in there as well with her armor piercing values here against the Warlock Master, but basically Henry's just going to be chasing this guy down and hopefully doing some serious damage. In the front line, we do have the Spearmen at Arms and the Battle Pilgrims surging in as well, and basically just going to be taking a very conservative approach, hiding my Cav in the trees for now and just trying to goon out his characters and then use the Cav in the late game to pressure. So the Mounted Yeoman Archer shooting into some Rat Ogres here in conjunction with some Peasant Archers, which is certainly doing good, and it looks like a nice Warp Lightning from Aerocrastic there in the back is able to hit those Peasant Bowmen, doing some really, really good work. So Repanse and the Mountain That Rides here were able to do some decent damage to the Warlock Master, getting him down to about 60%. So that's quite a nice pick here. Battle Pilgrims are surging forward, but taking some consistent firepower from all the Skaven weapons teams. And it looks like he has 2 Jezzails in total. So I would imagine the Jezzails are either going to shoot my cav units or going to be going after Henry right here up in the sky. So Repanse going to be surging in as well. Henry coming in. We have a nice blob fight here because we do have the Battle Pilgrims and we also have Terror now. So something a little bit unfamiliar here when you don't see Lewin, but there is going to be a Terror route coming in and breaking off those Skaven slaves. And now we have a great jump as Repanse charges in on her steed Suleiman and is able to get some good damage against the Warlock Master. He's very, very low at this point. You can see the Spearmen at Arms are going to be coming up from the reserves to push in. You just try and close the distance with some of these weapons teams because really he's been doing a really good job with his Eshin Triads and his Spears and his Ogres defending his weapons teams, and I haven't been able to really get back there. But Peasant Archers shooting happily. These ones shooting over here, getting some great damage against the very squishy Eshin Triads. Now to Nailman Archers, a little bit of sloppy micro here. They do get caught up by Skaven slaves, but you can see I do grab them in a moment and move them forward. But yeah, Battle Pilgrims will trade well with Clan Rats. Here we are able to break off some Rat Ogres. Repanse here is able to do some great damage, though she's meant against infantry. She just has good stats in general and should be able to help to dispatch some of these fat Rat Ogres. So now if we look in the back line, the Warlock Master is quite beat up here. The Jezzail weapons teams, of course, are still firing. All the weapons teams still going, which is a little bit kind of dangerous at this point in the game when, they're still going like that. It's quite scary. And it looks like there's going to be an Earthblood going down for my Damsel of Life, healing up Repanse as well as Henry here. But the weapons teams are shooting quite happily here. He has Rat Ogres, and he does also have some Gutter Runners as well to apply poison. But Repanse just crusading hard, trying to take out that Warlock Master, but now a bunch of Crossfire coming in. This is really bad for me. The Warplock Jezzails are going after Henry here and doing a ton of damage. And you can see my Yeoman Cav here in the back going to be actually getting in here. So this is a huge play. The Mounted Yeomen are able to kind of circumvent the defenses of the Skaven, kind of going under the radar, jumping on top, shutting down a Warp Lightning Cannon, and the second group is able to shut down those Warplock Jezzails. So the Mountain That Rides here going to be getting a little bit low. You can see he's down to about 1,500, but it looks like he's healing somehow. How is he healing? There wasn't a regrowth on him. Does he have maybe a Repanse is healing him something? I gotta double check that. But regrowth is active on him, so finally we're able to stabilize him, which is quite nice. As far as the rest of my forces go, Knights of the Realm going to be afflicted by the Flensing Ruin. So let's look at the damage here as this does tick. Not bad, I guess. Not the best thing in the world, but it's certainly not terrible. So those Knights of the Realm were able to come up and through the middle and have ransacked a couple of the Skaven formations, and now they're going to be helping the legendary Paladin back here go fisticuffs here with the Rat Ogres as well as these Gutter Runners. Repanse in the meantime staying quite busy, going after the Warplock Jezzails, knowing that those are some of the things that can really crush my army, right? So if I'm able to get rid of those, then the threats to Repanse are going to be relatively insignificant. He does still have his mortars over here that have been shooting. As far as kills, they're up to 28, but most of their damage does come from the damage over time, so it's not going to be as many raw kills as like other types of units. Poison Wind Mortars going to be taking fire here, aiming their sights downrange at the Peasant Bowmen. I would imagine it looks like they're switching targets once again. But unfortunately for me, the Doom Wheel in the back has gotten back here, and Repanse as well as Henri are a little bit far away. He's like over there in the back line. So Warlock Master here going to be rolling through, doing some Limp Biscuit damage here to my Peasant Bowmen. But, I am going to be able to get Repanse back here, and for the most part, she should be able to head this guy off. I think her speed is relatively close. She's like 70 speed, and the Warlock Master is 72. So, yeah, I should have enough to kind of pressure. Yeah, Aerocrastic doing a good job here, kind of cleaning up my back line. My Peasant Bowmen, all these other troops certainly taking a bit of work, but the Skaven back line is basically in shambles at this point. The Mounted Yeoman Archers were able to chase the weapons teams plus the mortar crews off the battlefield, and you can also see that I do have my Paladin coming back in. Henry's going to be doing some work, charging into the Poison Wind Mortars, and the fact that he causes terror is just so good against Skaven. I mean, again, Lewin is, it's cool, like, because now you have a character, like, usually you have to bring Lewin or Alberic to get the terror, Royal Hippogriff Knights, and if you get those characters sniped, you're losing your Lord, but now you have a terror-causing unit that isn't your Lord, so if it goes down, it's not going to be, like, as devastating, right? And Repanse here is going to be going after the Warlock, or the Eshin Sorcerer, which is certainly a good choice for her, bonus for his infantry, good AP, and it looks like she's also immune to Psychology, which is quite cool, so she can't be, like, routed off by, like, Doom Wheels and things like that. Henry's going to be coming in as well, trying to chase off these Rat Ogres. My Damsel of Life in a little bit of trouble, and the Damsel in Distress is going to be saved by the Paladin. He charges in with his bonus first large. He's quite thick himself, and he should be able to take out these Rat Ogres, probably no problem, especially with the help of the Damsel. And Rat Ogres, once they do lose their Frenzy, I'm pretty sure lose their immunity to Psych, and they should be able to be terror routed. Now here we have a bit of a precarious situation. You can see Repanse surrounded by a bunch of, I guess, cowardly Skaven. In this case, Yeoman Archer is able to come in and just break those guys off, and Repanse at this point going to be going after the Eshin Sorcerer. So if we take a look, he's able to get his mortars back online, doing some nice Poison Wind consistent damage here, but the Pilgrims with a ton of kills. Up to 155, very solid performance, and I don't think they got any big changes in the most recent patch notes, but I feel like they're doing pretty darn good here. So Henry's going to be going in here with the Damsel of Life, a little bit surrounded by Guando rats, which isn't good. The Weeping Blades putting his armor down to 42, so he's very, very squishy right now. Bit of a dangerous situation for him, really. And Repanse is going to be coming in, going after the Doom Wheel, trying to stop the Doom Wheel from just punishing Henry here because he's getting a little bit danger low. But it looks like some of the troops here, the Clan Rats and these other supporting elements, are going to get terror routed off. And Repanse is able to come in with her Sword of Lioness here and get some really good damage here against the Warlock Master. He's down to 555 HP, that 555 special, but the Paladin breaks free and he's going to be on the hunt. And I could have sworn, I guess I forgot my Damsel was on foot. I think that was a mistake this game, but nonetheless, it actually made her a little bit harder to snipe. So the Halo of Maidenly Rat's going to be going down, blinding these Rat Ogres, putting their stats down to a pretty pitiful amount there of 4 and 4. And that's going to be all she wrote. Bretonnia will take the day. So yeah, I felt like, the Paladin's obviously quite nice, having Henry up there in that flying mount, really good against Doom Wheels and Flares. Repanse isn't bad here. I mean, she's a little bit susceptible to sniping, but again, if you have another target like Henry flying around, she's probably going to be safe, and really, she's not bad. I have to wonder if the Enchantress would be a little bit better here in terms of like a cost perspective, but really, I mean, I enjoyed using her. It's nice having another unit that can bully the Skaven Lords, it can stop Doom Wheels and things like that. But yeah, MVPs were the Battle Pilgrims. They just kind of grinded out that frontline fight, just absolute heroes, and then the Mounted Yeoman Archers coming in to crush the flank was pretty powerful as well. But obviously, we're just experimenting with new stuff. I think this build would probably be good against competitive Skaven as well. What would I change? I mean, I really liked having the Mounted Yeoman Archers. That dual purpose utility on those guys was pretty nice against Skaven for sure. But yeah, as far as like new stuff from the Skaven, the Eshin Triads didn't do bad. I feel like they're kind of a weird unit. I've been having trouble to really get like my money's worth out of them so far in this DLC drop here, but yeah, we'll see. Mortars, I think, are a really good choice against Peasant Archers for sure. And yeah, it was a solid game. Good builds across the board. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Bretonnia versus Clan Eshin Showdown, or Chevaliers de Lyonesse. That's probably how it's actually, I should be said there. But yeah, guys, thanks again for joining. Hopefully you had a good time seeing Repanse and Henry in action. Make sure to check out Aerocrastic over on the YouTube channel. And aside from that, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.